unsteady, you've got a couple of options. You can let either the pinkies touch down or let the hands get a little closer to the saddle so you start to notice if they come a little up and down. And then ideally, what happens is that your body is absorbing the motion enough that it doesn't come up in your hands. So right now, the reason that they bounce a little bit is you still have to get your hips a little looser, okay? So think about it, we talked about this yesterday. Think about really moving your hips in the walk and then carrying it through to the trot. Okay, so if you're like, okay, I'm going to feel my hips really moving. The only difference is in the walk, look, it's a little bit from right to left. And in the trot, your pelvis is going like this, but picture in your mind, this is your pelvis going spring, spring, spring. So it's a question of letting go. It's also a question, looking at me, of using your abs to pull it up in front and then let it come down. Up, down, up, down. So you're using your abdominal muscles. Your core goes from your knee to here, okay? Now, I don't think strength has anything to do with it. I think you're actually a little too strong in your thighs and knees. It's a little bit more flexibility. So the reason we took your stirrups away was to go long enough that your body started to let go and give up. I know that sounds funny, but it's true.
But it's also training your muscle groups to work independently, because I don't want my leg muscles and my glutes to work. I just want my abdomen.
Right, and in terms of your glutes, for me, I use them in a half halt, but that's it. And what I see with many riders, and I think you're one of them too, they're tight enough in their buttocks that it actually squirts them off their seat bones. You've got to feel as though your buttocks muscles are supple enough. Now, are they loose? No, but supple enough that you can really feel your seat bones. Turn your right thumb over and press your whip against your left thigh. It'll help to stabilize your hands a little bit. Think about your hips moving, exaggerate. You're like, there, right, girl? And it's hard to stay balanced there, isn't it?
Yeah.
She said, yeah, because he's moving bigger. Thanks, Dolly.
Yeah.
So you get a few moments and then it's hard to stay. You got to regroup, slow them down. That's too big now. Think about the analogy we talked about yesterday about riding a wave. If we start on too big a wave, if I were going to go surfing, I couldn't maintain my balance on a big wave. I'd start in a smaller wave. So when he starts moving too big, she can't quite stay with him. Now walk again and change direction. So when you see the tape, you're going to say, oh, God, my hands are so unsteady. It will get better. Don't be too hard on yourself. This is something that a lot of us just don't do enough nowadays, is really work on our seats. It's hard work. She's sore from yesterday, but you'll notice she's doing it without complaint, which is impressive. But a lot of people will say, oh, well, no, I don't ride without stirrups. Well, why not? I mean, unless you're riding a really green horse, there's really no reason not to. Yeah, so think about, yeah, that's right, there you go. So it'll come and go, and it's okay. Right now it needs a little more of just doing his job going along, right? There you go. So she gets moments where you see her hips moving a little bit more with the horse, and then gets a little hard, and then the hands get a little bit unsteady, but it'll come. And walk again. Don't go too long. It's a little bit more about quality versus just quantity. Yeah.
I just want to just slap about.
Yeah, slapping about is not quite what we want, is it? Yes, you don't lose your sense of humor. Slap about. You are a good boy. And then trot again. Get your hips moving in the walk, carry it through. Yeah, now your hips are moving. Now carry that through the trot. Spring, 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 there you go. Spring, 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 that's a girl, good. Keep your neck supple. Yeah, move your chin around. That's right. And walk again, it's okay. So, the advantage of having done this for 40 years is I know what the long term will be. I'm not going to worry right now. When she sees the tape, she's going to say, oh, my hands were too unsteady. Okay, but I do understand the long term, what will happen, and your hands will get much quieter, but it's got to come from you absorbing the motion through your springy hips, your back moves a little bit, you use your abs so that you can lift the pelvis and let it come down. It's not just, what's interesting right now is you're almost at the point, sometimes when you're first learning this, it almost becomes like a passive flop, which sounds bad. I don't think that's a dressage term. But it feels as if almost you have to get a little floppy in order to move with the horse, and then you feel as though you can have much more control of it. So instead of a passive flop, look, it becomes a dynamic spring. The goal is a springy hip and enough abdominal control that you can help the pelvis to come up and down. All right, but you're gonna have to probably start. Oh yeah, oh boy, that was scary, huh? You're gonna probably have to start with a little bit of a floppy feeling. Okay? I know, it sounds funny, but it works that way. Okay, so exaggerate. Think about a springy hip. It springs up and down, up and down, up, down. Let's see how fast it has to go. It's up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, and talk to him. So yeah, beautiful, it's okay. Lower your hands, put your hands down. When he gets a little hollow, lower the hands a couple of inches, okay? There you go, good girl. And walk. Walk. And lift your thighs a little bit away from the saddle. You see how you start to pinch in?
I'm definitely using too much thigh.
Yes.
I mean, that's why I'm hurting, because I'm using muscles I shouldn't be using.
Right.
Until I get
Yeah, lift your thighs away. It'll hurt. Look. Have you ever scribed or watched people in shows? They halt and then fluff their thighs at X. A lot of people do it. It becomes almost a nervous habit. It's not that's an incorrect seat adjusting technique. However, it looks really bad. You see people halt and they going, oh my God. I've got a friend who does it as a nervous habit, and you'll see her when she would show. Anytime she would halt, she would do it. I'm like, for God's sake, try to do that in the warm-up and then forget it. But it was a nervous habit for her. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. See the difference?
Yes.
There you go. There you go. That's okay. Walk when you lose it. Walk when you lose it. And then fluff your thighs again. I know there's some. That's right. Yeah. But the thing about it is, how could you not grip with the thigh with such a short stirrup? Yeah, it's got to be. It's interesting. Remember, dressage riders are more like dancers than weightlifters. Okay, and if we're a little bit too strong, a little bit too tight, we block our movement. Yeah. There you go. That a girl. Move your chin a little bit. There you go. Move your chin a little bit. That's right. Now walk. And take your stirrups back, and let's see if we need to lengthen them another hole or not. Oh, thank you.